Hello everyone, and today I'm going to talk about essentially the last Hannibal episode of the Mads Mikkelsen, Lawrence Fishburne, and Hugh Dancy's saga of Hannibal, and essentially ends here with this episode. And you may ask, was this episode disappointing or not? It was not disappointing. So I'm really fucking boiling with this sweater on. But let's take it out with this review. And essentially this episode is titled The Wrath of the Lamb. The Wrath of the Lamb. Alright. Start this. And essentially in this episode, what goes throughout the main story of this episode is that it's very much the last straw. It's very much the last moments of the FBI kind of essentially conclude with Dr. Hyde, played by Richard Armitage, respectively, and how he's still taunting and he's still very much still at the FBI and and taunts them and does all that type of typical stuff. And that he actually stages his own suicide of her, the girl who I mentioned before in this series. He stages the suicide in front of her. Like, he really actually didn't, but he did something because that girl Dr. Hannibal Smith, I didn't realize it, but she was blind. And I'm just like, God damn, how can I be such an idiot? I forgot. So that we see it from kind of her perspective. It's like, oh my God, He killed himself, but it's like he didn't. Like at some point, he captures Will Graham's character, and that he essentially taunts him and talks to him of how he does not want to be pointed to the FBI. He wants to be left alone, essentially. He's like, whatever, the FBI will come to you and will get you. And essentially in this episode, they decide to use Hannibal as bait to bring Dr. Hyde to the FBI and to bring him in. And essentially at one point in the episode, they're transferring Hannibal on the highway, and Dr. Hyde actually takes out a couple of cop cars, causes all these trucks essentially to crash, and Dr. Hyde takes off, assuming he killed them. Well, he's like essentially killing and taunting them. He's like, I'll kill some of your men. Now, and he drives away. He's like, now come for me if you want. Only the most valuable of your pieces can come to me, essentially. And I really like that. There's a sense of stake. There's a certain essence of stake. What's at stake here, and the limits and the horrifying nature of what's going on. And I really love that. It keeps the tension and the suspense really, really well high. The way it's shot, edited, all the typical Hannibal episode stuff. It's clear as ever in this episode, and it's still really, really great. What else is really great is that, like, also the way it's shot, of course, but like they essentially the main characters are like Jack Crawford, Will Graham, Hannibal Lecter. They survive that crash, and both Hannibal and Will Graham, they follow Dr. Hyde in a cop car to like this remote house on like this top of a hill that essentially is down to like the line point of an ocean, and pretty much they stay there and they stake out until Dr. Hyde strikes, and it seems like Jack Crawford, I'm sorry. It seems like that Will Graham has double-crossed both. And it's essentially that, like, Hannibal Lecter is holding, like, a glass of wine or something near his chest, and he's like, exactly, of course I told you. And Will Graham is just like, no. He's like, the dragon has been watching us. And he's like, here, and you see in not Will, but in Hannibal, there's a gunshot, like essentially near his diaphragm, essentially, or somewhere in the lower spleen area, and he gets shot. He gets beat up, and so does Will Graham. They get both brutally beat the hell out of each other. Not each other. I mean, like the dragon essentially beats the living crap out of both of them, and essentially does that. Puts both Will Graham and Dr. Lecter with all their strengths get right back up and attack him very, very fast and accurately. Like they slice him at the throat, at the arteries, the veins, the tendons, all those those real weak points, and they essentially both Hannibal and Will Graham against the Red Dragon, and it's like a great finale type of brawl, but it's not like a real fistball type of rock and roll type of brawl, but it's very much like in a very quick ninja like. They're going fast and accurately. And I love that. It's really interesting. Really interesting how they take him down. That was really interesting how they did that. And yeah, I thought it was really cool. And essentially, they do end up killing the Red Dragon, which I thought the way it kind of all came together. Like, the dragon is now complete, but the dragon has also been defeated. It's like, I'm complete. I'm at my fullest state. But that means sacrificing everything. And it's like, dragon is defeated by the Hannibal and the detective. I thought it was really interesting. I was just scratching my back right there. Essentially, after that, they're both like very much winded. They're very gravely wounded, and they're very much hanging on their last strands. And they're both like at each other's arm's length. They're like, I forgot what Hannibal said. I forgot what Hannibal said. But Will Graham replies in kind of with, "That's beautiful." And I'm just like, and at the moment there's a great sense of suspense. I'm like, oh my god, how's it gonna end? How's it gonna end? How's it gonna end now? How's it gonna end? And it's like, at the moment you realize it, the camera kind of pans up like this, and you realize they're at the ledge of the hill of the side that they're at towards the ocean, and they're like kind of come together like this and like a big hug type of way, but then they throw themselves down, never to be seen again. And the way that's done is so clever and so well done, and with such tension and such suspense, that I can't help but praise it. I love this type of stuff. I love the show for what it does and what it does brilliantly. I'm a huge fan of it. Everything they've done, and I think the way they conclude the characters, it seems very, I wouldn't say it's rewarding, but I can't understand why they did that, because they both have their highlights, that they're both moments, like they're very tenacious, they're very dedicated, they're very loyal in their own rights, but they've done a lot of terrible shit to each other. And I'm not saying that these characters deserve to die. They don't deserve to die, but it's like, they deserve any type of punishment that they get, and even if it means their own lives ending at the very end of it all, then I think that's actually very rewarding to see, because these characters don't deserve to live, because they've done so much terrible shit to each other. They manipulated, they double-crossed, they attempted to kill each other. So in the end, it's like, essentially they die together in this final episode. It seems very beautiful. It's both beautiful, but it seems very much warranted. It's like the ending you don't want to see, but it needs to happen for the sake of these characters and for the shit they've done to each other endlessly. And in the very end, the direction they've gone in, I think, is beautiful. It's haunting, and the finale itself, I'm sorry for being so spoiler heavy here, but it's both haunting, shocking, and it's one of the most surprising TV show finales I've seen in a long time. And in the end, Hannibal Wrath of the title of this episode. The Wrath of the Lamb is a fantastic finale for the series of Hannibal, everyone. Thank you very, very much for watching my thoughts on each of these episodes of Hannibal. Thank you very, very much, everyone. I really hope you enjoyed the franchise of what I've done of Hannibal, of reviewing the first and the second season, and all these episodes leading up to this big episode here. And it's been nothing more than consistently amazing. And I freaking critically praise these geniuses. They're geniuses, essentially. People who made these episodes are just geniuses. And in the end, I'm honestly very, very happy and pleased with the way it ended. Either we like it or not, it's the ending that needs to happen. It's not the ending we want. We don't. It's like in my heart, both Will Graham and Hannibal are still very much alive. But the show tells us they're dead. They need to die. They're terrible characters. And I can't help but agree. They are terrible characters, and the fate they get is very much well deserved. And in the end, everyone, thank you very much for watching my Hannibal saga, everyone. Thank you very much for watching all the way through. For everyone who's been watching these, thank you very much, dearly, so much. And as always, thank you for watching, everyone. Stick around for more videos. As always, click the big red subscribe button down below for more contact in the future. As always, everyone, thank you for watching. Until then, I will see you all in the future for more videos. As always, thank you till then, and I will see you guys in the future. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you then. Are you happy I did that now?